Musicking, singing, moving to music, playing instruments, improvising, composing, reading notation is at the heart of the elementary music curriculum because doing is natural to children and music is, in essence, something that people do. Because musicking elicits natural musical behaviors and expressions in children, music teachers often use informal observation as a way to assess, provide feedback, and respond to children in the moment. However, such informal assessment does not allow for accurate data on children's musical growth to be recorded and observed over time. Music teachers may find assessing students' achievements in a formal way, especially in relation to musicking, to be overwhelming if they have many students and so little time. However, documenting students' musical growth in a systematic and accurate manner so that teachers know and have records of students' learning, strengths, and weaknesses is essential to meet students' individual musical needs. One-size-fits-all music instruction that teaches to the average level of students can frustrate low-achieving students and bore those who are ready for additional challenges. In other words, without proper assessment to use as a basis for differentiating instruction, teachers will not have enough information to tailor that instruction to meet each student's needs. I highly recommend using authentic assessment for measuring students' musicking achievements in the general music setting for several reasons. First, because authentic assessment occurs in the context of learning, all students can participate in an activity while the assessment of individual students takes place. Second, authentic assessment has been demonstrated as effective in measuring what is intended to measure because it involves tasks that are familiar and relevant to students. Also, students perceive the process as more interesting than, for example, a test. Third, students have an optimal environment in which to demonstrate their abilities because the assessment takes place in a familiar setting. For example, in a classroom while learning. Lastly, no instructional time is lost because the assessment is integrated into the instruction and the teacher does not have to spend extra time outside of the classroom for grading. If you are interested in using authentic assessment in your classroom, you should start by considering the following questions. What musicking achievements do I want to assess? At which point of the instructional sequence and how often? How can I make the assessment process manageable so that I do not lose instructional time? What is the best method of record keeping while I'm doing an assessment? Choosing a measure that is valid, which means it measures what it is intended to measure, and reliable, which means it produces consistent results, is crucial for obtaining an accurate assessment of students' achievement. The teacher can either use or adapt a published measure or create one. A checklist is useful for gauging correct or incorrect performance, such as tonal and rhythm pattern performance, pitch matching, solfege association, or recorder fingering. A performance rating scale or rubric is an appropriate tool for obtaining diagnostic information on a student's performance because the criteria offer sequential and specific descriptions. Once a measure is selected, a task should be determined that is appropriate in terms of level of difficulty and students' familiarity with that task.